Hello traders, in the zone here. Well, I've got the first day of my new combine completed, and it's a positive day. I've got a positive balance. It was a difficult day trading for me. I had some mistakes, had some hiccups. I'll go over that in a minute. I'm going to try to keep this video short. Just want to point out a couple of things. You can see here that I've got my account report. You can see the trades that I made. I'm going to go over a couple of them, and then you can look at the rest on your own if you'd like. But I'm happy that my first day, I was trying really hard not to have a bad first day. I was a little bit nervous, and I wanted to ensure that the first trade that I took, I wanted it to be a good trade. I wanted it to be a profitable trade. And what I got today was chaos. And let me go over, what I did. This morning we opened inside the pivot range, and we closed below that pivot range on Friday. And so today, what you'd like to see is an open below the pivot range to confirm that bearishness. But we opened inside the pivot range. That gave me a little bit of a neutral, bias this morning. And also we've been selling off for about 7 days now, and I thought that we could, have a consolidation day, or even possibly have a pause and a bounce. I actually was thinking we could push up and test value area high up around the 1946 area. But anyway, so I'm looking this morning, first thing, I'm looking to get long, first chance I can get. And let me bring this other chart up just to show you kind of what I was looking at. Again, this is the first bar of the day. This is the opening range high, opening range low. A point up is this yellow line. A point down is this line. The Camarilla here, you got the red line is H3, L3. This is the value area of the Camarilla. This is the upper zone between this green line and this red line. And then from this green line down to this red line is the lower zone of the Camarilla. So I'm thinking, I'm definitely thinking this morning to fade this A, okay, because of where we opened, and this did not turn out to be. You can tell right now as I'm doing this video, we're continuing to sell off. We're probably going to sell off all the way down here to this 1898 L3 level, okay. But again, this is why I'm trying to get away from trying to predict where the market's going to go, and I'm just trying to stick to my Keltner channel and use that for my trades. Of course, I do need to have some sort of reasoning behind what I'm doing. Boy, this thing's really selling off as I'm doing this video. I actually should be trading again, but I'm not going to do it. Got a positive day in the books, and so let me go over this first trade that I took this morning and tell you what happened to me. Of course, with the Keltner channel, if you're below the lower band, this is in a downtrend, and you want to sell pullbacks to the mid band, and you stay in that state until you close back above the upper band. Well, we closed above the upper band right here. This gave me an opportunity, with my bias to maybe push up, that I wanted to get long. So as price pulls down to the mid band, I want to get long. Well, this morning I was listening to a live webinar with James Dalton on market profile, trying to brush up on my market profile skills and watching the market at the same time. Well, I think I had too much going on my computer at the time. I had that webinar going on. I had the TST room. I had my charts and everything. I think I had too much going on. And when I went to click on the dome to place my order, nothing happened. And so I said, well, let me click again. And I clicked again. And as soon as I did that, I thought, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And sure enough, there was a delay in my data, and I got filled with both orders. And my normal contract size is 2 contracts. And so instead of being long 2 contracts, I'm now long 4 contracts. And I'm thinking, oh crap, what do I do? And so I'm scrambling, and I ended up getting out of the first two contracts. I dumped two, luckily in my favor, two ticks, and pocketed $50. You can see that's the first trade down here. And then I was able to get out of the third contract with the 2-tick profit also, and then I was holding the last contract to see if we can't, continue the trend up. And so as price pushes down towards this lower band, I make my next mistake of the day. I'm in my head, I know a closing bar below this lower band is going to stop me out, but as price is going against me, and I've already been through all this turmoil of the user error, having too many contracts, I cried uncle and got out, and you can see that's my 137.50 loss down here. And that was my second mistake of getting out before my stop. Okay, I'm trying to use the Keltner channels as my guide, and a stop would be a closing bar back below that lower band. Well, it didn't close below the lower band, so I got spooked out. So as soon as I get stopped out, price shoots back up and starts to move higher. And of course, here comes my third mistake. Then I'm like, daggone it, I knew it. I knew this thing was going up. So what do? I chased it. And I get filled at a not such a good price. I get filled up here at 18.50, and as soon as I get filled, of course, it pulls back, and I'm taking heat again. And so this morning was a bit of a chaos fest here. I've made three mistakes. I've entered too many orders here, and get stopped out when I shouldn't be stopped out. I chase here, and now I'm taking heat, and it's just a bit of a chaos. Luckily, I hang in there, get out of my first contract, then I get out of the second contract, and at this point I'm like, okay, breathe, just breathe. And so that was a bit of a nerve-wracking morning this morning. So then I went on and made a couple more trades and ended up with a positive day. Finished with 375. And I netted out about 338, and it's above 300. The way I'm looking at things is the $50,000 combine target is $3,000. If I do $300 a day for 10 days, I hit the $3,000. So that's sort of where I'm looking at. I want to do a minimum of $300, and I made over $300 today. And it's the first day. I've made a bunch of mistakes, and the market wasn't going where I thought it was going, and I kept trying to push it. And so I just decided to call it a day, and so that's how my first day is going. Right now, you can see here that this market really selling off down here in the 1902 area, and if I pull over this other chart, you can see, on a big picture thing, the A down confirmed, and it's selling off, and so. This would have been a great opportunity here in this area to go short for the big picture. But like I said, a lot of times in past combines, I've tried to, trade off of the big picture. And what ends up happening is I'm right sometimes and it turns out really good, and I'm wrong other times and it ends up really bad. And so with this combine, my main goal is to stick with the Keltner channel to reduce my risk and just try to take educated guesses and trade until I have a reasonable profit for the day, and then call it a day. So that's what I've done today, and that is my first day. All right, guys, that's it. I've gone on too long, and we'll talk at you some other time.